In John 3:16 and 17, Jesus said, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved." Jesus didn't come to condemn, but to rescue us from our inherent disobedience. We see the wrath of God fully poured out on his Son. In his suffering, we witness the severity of God's wrath as well as the extent of his love. His wrath and its suffering was extreme, to say the least. The Romans had perfected crucifixion to maximize the torment and extend life as long as possible. This is what we deserve for our sins. But the wrath of God is more than physical pain. It's also the pain of a full separation from God. From eternity past, the Godhead has been in perfect unity and in each other's presence. Yet on the cross, Jesus experienced separation from the Father. No man, woman, or child has ever experienced the separation during their lifetime. However good or bad an individual may be, whatever trouble or struggles we may face, all of these are tempered by the fact that God still plays a part in our lives. We cannot begin to understand the fullness of that separation in this life. Only in death does any unsaved soul truly experience that separation. Regardless of how difficult a life may be, we must acknowledge that God is on the throne and shielding us from the worst of the devil's torment while we live. Only in death is that separation possible. But Jesus experienced that separation while he was still alive. We also see God's love and the obedience of the Son in the face of that separation and the weight of the sins of all creation on the cross. Jesus bore the full weight, regardless of the choice that each individual makes in their lives. Jesus' suffering was for those who would refuse him and for those who would accept him. His death was for the vilest sinner and the most faithful believer. He bore the wrath of the Father so that we would have the opportunity to escape that same wrath. His will is for us to see his sacrifice and reach out to help others to avoid that unnecessary fate of God's wrath. The debt has already been paid. All that's left is for souls to accept his love and submit ourselves to his Spirit for the benefit of other souls.